Hello, 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 hello. Hello? How are you guys doing tonight? It is 9:55 p.m. and I literally just like a minute and a half ago finished the Zodiac Killer, the Zodiac book that we're reading for Peter's Book Club this month. I wanted to finish it in time to start the reading rush, which starts in exactly 2 hours. And I don't know what all this is, but my day did not go as planned today. I had a great day today. I just didn't get the things done that I wanted to get done. And that's okay, because I had a really nice day. Got to spend with Alex, and we've had a really good weekend together. And the next week, he's busy with work, and I'm really busy doing the reading rush and doing some other things. So yeah, I'm really excited for this next week to come with reading rush in 2 hours. And I'm going home right now, and I'm gonna rest for an hour, and then I'm gonna get up and start reading rush at midnight. It starts right at midnight, so I want to be on the front porch with all my books, sitting down, reading right at midnight with a cup of coffee. I am so excited, although I just finished my coffee. And I'm going to vlog a little bit now, and then I'll vlog a little bit later, but I don't think I'm going to vlog for a long time tonight. I know I always say that, but because I want to focus on reading tonight. But anyway, yeah, so the Zodiac book was good. I gave it, I'm going to do a review of it on my Peter Likes Books channel, but I gave it 4 stars. I would give it 5 stars, but it's not like one of the best true crimes I've ever read. It was very interesting to me, though. Like, the book stops in 1985. So I want to do a little bit of research and see what's happened between then and now. I also want to watch the Zodiac movie, which is on Netflix. The live stream is next Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's on YouNow. It'll be linked below. So, yeah, I'm real excited about finding out some more stuff, because I want to see what's come up about the Zodiac Killer since 1985 when the book ended. But it was interesting. They really narrowed it down to one victim at the very end. And yeah, I literally have been driving forever, you guys, just like listening to this book, because I didn't want to go home until I finished it. So we got up today and we went and had brunch, and we had a great brunch. It was fun. It was very relaxing. And then we both got home late last night because I listened to my audiobook, and Alex stayed out with his friends till late. So we got home late, we slept in, went to brunch, and then we went and met Jason and Melissa at the movie theater to go see The Lion King, which was, I'm going to do a review on my review channel, but it was cute. It was really good. I actually liked it a lot better than I liked the original cartoon. It's really sweet. It's really, really sweet. And beautifully shot, too. What's that called? Like live action anime? I mean, I don't know how they do that, but it's really cool. Yeah, and it's just been a good day. It feels like it's been a long day, especially since listening to this audiobook. And then when we came home, who was texting me? When we came home, it's Valerini. Hey, Valerini. I can see her name, but I can't see what she's saying. When we came home, I like hung out for just a little bit, and then I was like, okay, I want to go listen to this audiobook. So I went and got a coffee, and then I listened to my audiobook, and I cannot believe I actually finished it. I think last year I was trying to finish an audiobook too before I started Booktubeathon, which is now Reading Rush, and I didn't get it done in time. So I'm really happy that I'm like going into Reading Rush with, well, I'm still reading a James Patterson book, but that can wait till I'm done. I'm not gonna, my supermarket reads for this month, I did not anywhere near get completed, so I'm just gonna have to carry them over till next month or something, I don't know. But anyway, and that's fine, because the Reading Rush goes to next Sunday, and then there's only 3 days left in the month, so I'm not obviously gonna finish all of those books this month, but, yeah, so for the next week, I'm just reading my 7 books for Reading Rush, and I'm real excited about it. I'm so excited about it. I was talking to Mel earlier tonight, and I was like, I am more excited, I think, this year than I've ever been before to do this Reading Rush Booktubeathon. And she was like, I know you are. And I was like telling her what she has to do, and I was like telling her how to get ready, and I was like telling her what I do at the beginning. I said, you can do it however you want to do it. And so the Reading Rush starts at midnight wherever you are, and she has to go to bed early because she has to work in the morning, and she goes to bed at like 10, and I said, and she's like 3 hours behind me, and I said, well, why don't you just do it at like 9 o'clock? That'll be my time, and then we can start it together, and then we can, like, you know, text each other and all this kind of stuff. Who do I keep on? I can't see what they're saying, but anyway. And I said, then we can, like, text each other while we're, like, reading for the first hour and stuff, and it'll be real fun. And she's like, okay, I'll do that. So we're gonna start, because she has to work all day tomorrow, and she's like, I wish I had the whole day off, or the whole week off from reading from work, so I could just read. She's like, but I've got a lot of stuff to do. I was like, yeah. I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, so I want to read tonight, and then I'm going to read late tomorrow night, because tomorrow I have my training, and then I have, like, a sobriety commitment early evening, and some other stuff, and then I want to make videos tomorrow, because I didn't really make videos yesterday or today. I did a Q&A, but I haven't really posted a bunch of videos, and so I want to do that. Yeah, so it's been a good day. It's been a really relaxing day. Alex has been at home watching Netflix shows while I've been listening to my audiobook. But we had fun at the movie theater. Jason and Alex both like popcorn with no butter on it, and Melissa and I both like tons of butter on our popcorn. So Melissa and I sat next to each other, and Jason and Alex sat next to each other, so we could each share our popcorn appropriately. Melissa's so funny. She's like that friend, you know, that so Alex and I stopped and we got candy on the way, and Alex never really gets candy, and he did tonight, which was cute. But so I said to her, we were getting our pop, I said, we haven't been to a movie. We used to go to a lot of movies with Jason and Melissa, and we haven't been in a while. And I said, so what are you getting to drink? And she goes, Coke, of course. But anyway, they have one of those machines at the movie theater that has like 1,000 drinks. I love that machine. But anyway, or 100 drinks or whatever it is. So we're sitting there, and I have my candy laid out, my popcorn. I'm like, do you want some candy? She's like, oh, I brought candy. Melissa literally had like 8 things of candy. She had all kinds of candy. Whenever we go see scary movies around Halloween time, because we usually go see like a lot of scary movies, Melissa always brings like those caramel apple suckers that you can get. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Oh my God, they're so good. And she brings all kinds of fun treats. So we always have fun in the movie theater. Alex loves that movie so much. I cannot believe. I don't know what it is about The Lion King. It must have been like when he watched it. He was like, when I used to watch this when I was younger, like over and over and over and over again. And we got out, and literally right across from us was Aladdin, the live-action Aladdin. And Alex goes, look, we could go see Aladdin right now. And I go, yeah, we could go right now and go see it. And he just looked at me, and I was like, no, I can't do another one of these. I have got to get this book done, babe. And he was like, okay. I was like, but we can come and see it if you want to come and see it. And he was like, okay. Movies are expensive. My God, we went during the day, and our tickets were $15 a piece. That is ridiculous. Don't you think that's expensive? I think that's expensive for movies. I've got to get home. I have to go to the bathroom. I drank that coffee, and I'm like, oh my God. Can you feel the love tonight? This omelet today that I get, and it's called the California Dreamer, and it's like avocado, I think it's egg whites, and some kind of cheese, I don't know, but then they put peppers in it, like jalapeno peppers and something else. It is so hot, you guys, or green peppers and something else, and it is so hot and spicy, but it is so good. And I got it with crispy potatoes, which I hardly even ate. I don't even know why I got them. And cinnamon toast. Cafe Patishu has like the best cinnamon toast in the entire world. And then I got coffee, and it was banana nut coffee. And we had such a good time today. It was so much fun. And now it's Reading Rush. Almost. It's Reading Rush. like every year for reading, like for this booktubeathon reading rush, I'm just gonna call it reading rush from now on. I think every year, like we've always done something with Melissa and Jason, like the day of. Isn't that funny? Isn't that so funny? It makes you want to laugh. It was thunderstorming earlier, but it's kind of nice now. And the sky is really pretty. There's like clouds and, well, obviously, but like the clouds are like moving fast, you know, when they do that. It's 73 degrees outside, which is good because it's cooled down. I think the rain cooled things down a little bit. I'm hoping to go back on program tomorrow. Well, I'm not hoping to. That's my plan. Tomorrow is to be back on program. What is going on with this camera thing tonight? It's like sideways, this deal here. Hello? Hello? Well, the first year we did something with Melissa and Jason. I don't know about last year. Oh, last year we were in Connecticut, so no. We weren't with them when it started. I was going to go and get another book with purple on the cover, and I was going to replace it because I was originally doing The Other Wife, or whatever the book is called, that murder mystery thing. But everybody was like, that's not purple, it's blue. So I was like, okay. What is going on with my beanbag deal tonight? So I went through my books, and I have Made You Up by Francesca Zappia. So I'm doing that for purple on the cover because it's got some purple in it instead. The Wife Between Us. I think that's the book, what it's called. I always like the day of, I want to like change all my books in my TBR. I like look at them, I'm like, I don't know. But I am going to start my audiobook tonight. I think I'm going to read for like an hour. And then I was telling Mel this, I think I'm gonna read for like an hour, and then she was laughing at me on the phone. And then I'm gonna do, go listen to my audiobook for an hour so I can kind of get like into it a little bit. I have 2 audiobooks on my TBR. The first one is What If It's Us by Adam Silvera and Becky Albertalli, and it's like 8 hours and something. So it's like 4 hours that I have to listen to it. So I can probably finish that the first 2 or 3 days, and then get into the second one. Hopefully, at least that's my plan. And then yeah, just sit down. I don't know what other book I'm going to start first. I might like read a chapter of each and see which one like really. Sometimes people do it different ways. Like some people like read the first book straight through, then the second book, then the third book. I don't usually do that. I start all 7 books. I'm like that kid, you know, that goes to the buffet and has to get a little bit of everything. I love the buffet, by the way. But I may do that with the books too, you know, like do a chapter of each. Can you feel? You guys are like, we're so tired of hearing about reading rush. Well, get ready because you're going to hear about it for the next week. It'd be funny, I was thinking today if they turned like other animated movies into like live action movies, like the Peanuts, like Bon Voyage, Charlie Brown and Don't Come Back. Well, I guess they have a little bit. They did like Scooby-Doo, didn't they? I want to go on a vacation. We have a vacation next month and a vacation in September, which I'm excited about. But I could literally leave tomorrow. I feel like I know so many people that are going like, well, you know, because kids go back to school like now, like this week, a lot of kids are going back to school, which is so crazy to me. Or the next week, like August 1st, kids are going back to school. So a lot of parents are like taking their like end of summer vacation this week and going on vacation. Which reminds me of like my mom and I, when I was going into my sophomore year in high school, that's when we went to Beaver Island, was like 2 weeks before I started school. I remember I was so scared to go to high school. I was so scared. And Well, my mom's friend Susie came to visit with her daughter, and that's like the same age as me, but her high school was 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, and my high school 10th, 11th, and 12th. She is an older sister too, and I was like really scared to start high school, and I remember talking to her, and she was so good to me. She was like, Peter, she was like, it's not that bad. She was like, you'll be fine. I was like, I know. It's so funny, and I look back on it, you know, and I was like, I had no idea where I was going to find, you know, like my way around. I didn't really have any friends going into 10th grade. The one kind of friend that I had from like 6th to 9th grade, like his family moved after 10th grade, and then he was in marching band. So he was like, had made, like, during the summer going into 10th grade, he had been like at like marching band camp, and he had been doing like marching band practice and everything like that every day. So he and I had kind of like fallen out like that last year. Like, we were still friends, and we lived close to each other, and we would see each other, but we really weren't that close anymore. And especially that summer, I never saw him because he made all new friends. So I really was going into 10th grade with like no friends, except for the girls that I had met at, you know, like hung out with at lunch in 9th grade. But I wasn't even that good of friends with them. It is so muggy outside, and I am loving it. I love this. Alex got in the car today. I was like, it's so hot and muggy, and he goes, I love it. We both love that humidity, you know? Reminds me of like stepping off a plane in the Caribbean when you've come from like cold weather in Indiana. But anyway, or like Mexico or something like that. So I remember I was so scared, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to find my way. I don't know where I'm going to find my classes. I don't know how I'm going to like do my locker there. I mean, I was like so nervous about everything, and I just was like, I remember she was so sweet. She's like, Peter, you'll figure everything out. Don't worry about it. You know, everybo's really helpful. Of course, nobody was helpful. Everybody was mean as shit to me. And, but I got through it somehow. I don't know how. I hated all my classes. My teachers were not nice. But so they came like 3 weeks, like they came at the beginning of August, I think, and they stayed like a week and a half, and then my mom's other sorority sister came to visit. Well, she came with her daughter. Well, her daughter lived here, and she had like moved away to work in a college like the year before, and so her daughter was here with her dad finishing high school, or going into high school. Or did she still live here then? She still lived here then. She didn't move until after she went to college. So the four of us went to Beaver Island, Michigan, and that was like 2 weeks before I started high school. And I remember like the whole way over on the ferry from Charlevoix to Beaver Island, I just listened to Bob Dylan over and over and over again, Hey Mr. Tambourine Man. That was like when I was getting into my hippie roots a little bit, and I was really listening to all that music that my mom had like introduced me to. But I remember like that was like the last thing, and then we came back, and I remember I started school like the following week. I was so scared. It's so weird looking back on that, you know? I focused so much attention on like the bullying and things like that, and that was such a constant in my life that I almost kind of missed a lot of the rites of passage of stuff that, like, you know, I never went to a high school game, I never went to a dance, I never did any of those things. I was always like, I always said, oh, I don't want to do any of that kind of stuff, but the reality was I was so like, you know, like high school was bad enough that I didn't want to go to those things, you know, it was torture. So all right, you guys, listen, I'm going to get off here, and I will be back a little bit later, probably after, well, definitely after Reading Rush has started, and I'll probably need a little break from it, so I will come back and do a little bit longer. I love you guys. I'll be back then. Bye. Okay, I'm back. I'm having problems with this beanbag tonight. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm probably, this vlog is going to be real short tonight because I want to get back to listening, I want to start listening to my audiobook for, it's hot in here. It's really muggy outside. It feels good, but it's like, it feels hot. I want to start listening to my audiobook, my first audiobook for Reading Rush. It is 1:52 a.m. and I have been reading since 12, and I've done a really good job so far. I'm very proud of myself. I've started 3 books, and I'll probably just do a vlog tomorrow talking about that and what I've done, so I won't talk about it much on here. I will tell you that Wilder Girls by Rory Power is, well, all the books that I'm reading so far have been really good. I started The Island by Peter Benchley. He's the one that wrote Jaws. And it's good. It's scary right from the gate, right out of the gate. I mean, and then I read like a chapter of that, and then I read 2 chapters plus the preface of Made You Up by Francesca Zappia. And it's about a girl that has schizophrenia, and she's actually a local author here. She lives in Indianapolis, so the book takes place in Indiana. She's the one that wrote it like when she was like 18 years old. I mean, it's phenomenal for somebody that young. I think she's a professor here now at the University of Indianapolis. And I think she has a new book coming out this fall too. But it is fantastic. And then, let's see. Oh, and then Wilder Girls by Rory Power. And I'm super impressed with that book so far. I mean, it is really, really, really good. And it's about these girls. I don't know, I've read like a chapter and a half. It's about these girls that go to a boarding school off the coast of Maine on like this island. And some disease hits the island. And the CDC like contaminates the island, or not contaminates the island, puts the island in quarantine so the girls can't leave, and the disease is like, they bleed from nowhere, and then they like, my nose is itching me, and they get like scales on their hands, real weird stuff, and they don't know where it's coming from, and each girl is affected differently by it, and there's like 2. The headmistress is still there. It didn't affect her really that badly, except for that she bleeds from her lips. And then the youngest teacher, she's still there. I guess both of them, like, they bleed from like their lips and like inside their mouth or something like that. But these girls are just like dying off, and so I guess it's about them. And then like there's things around them that are trying to get them, like wildlife, and so they're basically living in this school, and they have no electricity, and they have no like food, so they have to go like once a month, and like the Navy sends them supplies, but it's never what they need. And that's about as far as in the book as I am, so it's good. Yeah, and then I'm gonna start when I get off of here, I'm gonna start listening to What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, which is I don't know what I'm trying to say, which is a Eastwick, which is, that was so stupid, which is a book about 2 guys that meet in New York City and like fall in love or not, I guess, I don't know, like they meet and then they don't exchange numbers and they meet again, or what, it's one of those kind of deals. And Adam Silvera is known for, so he writes, like all of his books are about like sexuality issues and things like that, but there's always like a spin to it that's kind of science fiction-y. And like the book that they're making into the TV show or the movie that I was talking about last night, I cannot remember what that book is called, but it was really, really good. It's it has blue. If you're looking for a good book like that, it's got blue on the cover, and it's like blue and black, and there's 2 guys walking, like you just see their shadow. All of his books look kind of similar, and it's about, you get a call like the day that you're gonna die, like at 12 a.m. and they tell you that it's your last day. And so it's like it's like this gay kid and this straight kid, they like meet, and it's like one of their last days, or both of their last days or something, I can't remember. But it was good. And then Becky Albertalli, she's written a lot of young adult books too, and what was the last one that I read? Becky Albertalli wrote Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, which is Love, Simon, the movie. And so the 2 of them together co-wrote this book that's called What If It's Us, and it's supposed to be phenomenal. So I'm excited about that, and I'm sure they'll make it into a movie. I mean, why wouldn't they, right? And yeah. So that's about it. That's my reading rush so far. And I had fun, like I had a blast out there. I realized though that I read so slow anymore compared to listening to audiobooks. Like I haven't sat there and just like read for like an hour and a half straight. Like I sit down there and I read for like 20 minutes, and I'm so like all over the place anymore. I have a hard time sitting still and just reading. I used to be able to read for like hours on end and just sit, you know? Like I sat out there and I was like, I'm hungry. And I knew that I had this DiGiorno Rising Crust pizza in there that I had bought and never eaten, and I was like, okay, I'm going back on program tomorrow, so I cooked this DiGiorno DiGiorno's pizza up, and then I ate 2 pieces of it, and then I put the rest in the fridge for Alex, because he loves cheese pizza, so he'll eat it. And, yeah. He is fast asleep. When I got done vlogging, I went home and I laid down for like an hour before I got done vlogging the first part of this, after I finished the Zodiac Killer book. And I went home and he was like, I'm going to bed, I'm gonna lay down. And it was right, well, I don't know what time it was, like 10-ish, something like that, because, well, no, it had to have been later than that, because I laid down for exactly like an hour. And when I got up, I like cleaned the front porch off and sat out there so I could sit out there and read, and got all my books ready. And then right at midnight, like Mel and I were texting, and then right at midnight, I put all my books in my Goodreads that I'm reading. Well, all the ones I've started so far. And, yeah. So it's fun. Love to do stuff like this. It's so funny because I drive by here. This used to be our old grocery store, and I drive by here all the time, and I'm always like, I wonder what that's going to be. And I think I've said it to Alex like 3 times, and he never like pays attention to what I'm saying when I say it. I'm like, I wonder what that'll be. And today he looked over and he goes, oh my God, I wonder what that's going to be. And I started laughing so hard. I was like, well, I don't know, maybe a grocery store. They probably will put a grocery store in there, and it'll probably be some like fancy-dancy Whole Foods or something. And I'll probably go there all the time and spend all my money on it when I need to be on my program. Fancy-dancy grocery store, listen to me. What did she say in this book, Francesca Zappia? She said something that was so funny that my mom used to say, and I was like, I wonder if that's like an Indiana thing. Because it was kind of old-timey for somebody young to be writing in a book, and I was like, I wonder if my mom used to, like my mom used to say that, I wonder if it's just like a Midwest or an Indiana thing. Oh, what was it that she said? It was so funny. Oh, har, har, har. Like, my mom used to say that all the time. Like, you know, when somebody would, like, make fun of you, she'd be like, har, har, har. Or har, har. Isn't that kind of like an old schooly thing? I feel like it is. Old-timey thing. I don't think that's specific to the Midwest. Pretty night outside. I ran into Meyer earlier tonight, and it was like pouring down rain. It was like thunderstorming and stuff. And when I was walking back out to my car, it was so weird. Like, I just like, because there's like an overhang, you know, at Meyer. And I usually like, you know, like when you're coming out of a store and it's pouring down rain, you usually stop, and then you like kind of like look up, and then I just kept on like walking. I don't even know why I noticed it, but I did. And all of a sudden I smelled that smell, and it's that like smell of a thunderstorm, you know, hitting the pavement and like the grass, like in the summertime. And oh, it smelled so good. I was so happy we got home in time to bring the cushions in from the patio so that our cushions are not soaked for the next week, because it takes forever to dry them off. Alex was so sweet. He brought them all in. And so we don't have to worry about that for the next couple days at least. I hope we have some sunny days this week. Sunny. Oh, I talked to Tanya too. I talked to her. She texted me when I was laying down, and so I called her back because she had been at the lake in Tennessee, and with her husband, and then that friend of hers whose husband passed away that I talk about sometimes. They went up there with their kid, or with her kid, this woman's kids and stuff. And so Tanya just got back tonight, and like I hadn't talked to her in a couple days, which is weird. Like, we usually talk even when we're on vacation, like every day. But like even when I'm out of the country, or she is and stuff. But she, like in Tennessee, it's hard to get service. So like only like when she's at the grocery store and stuff. And so she didn't like call this time because she wasn't gone that long. And so anyway, we were talking, and I'm like I get to look at my phone. I'm like, So Tanya, I go, I have to get off here because my reading rush starts in 5 minutes. And she goes, you're what? And I go, my reading rush, you know, like that book thing that I do every year. And she goes, oh, you're going to film a video on your front porch? And I go, what? And she goes, because I told her, she goes, what are you doing? I go, I'm cleaning off the front porch. I'm like Windexing, well, not Windex, I use the Mrs. Meyer stuff, but you know, I was like spraying off the table and cleaning the table and moving the plants and the chair and the glider thing and stuff. And she was like, oh, are you going to film a video out there for BookTube? And I go, no. I go, what are you talking about? She goes, well, you said reading rush. And I go, yeah, it's the reading. She doesn't get stuff sometimes. It's so cute. And I go, it's the BookTube-a-thon, like, reading challenge I do every year. She goes, oh, you always get so excited about that. I go, yeah, that's what I'm doing. She goes, so now how many books do you have to read? And I go, 7, I just told you that. She goes, so it's 7 books in 7 days. It's a lot. And I go, yeah, you read that in about 3 days. She goes, I know I do. She does, though. It's always weird when she's out of town. Like, I don't have a lot of people that I talk to, you know, on the phone. I mean, I have a couple people. And, but, like, Melissa's not a big phone talker. And, so, I just don't have a bunch of people that I talk to on the phone. So when Tanya's out of town, because she and I talk on the phone a lot, it's weird. It's like my phone doesn't really ring, and I don't get really a lot of texts from people. Like, I can go, like, my husband's phone goes off, I swear to God, all the time. And, but, like, I can literally go, like, almost an entire day without getting any text from anybody. I don't really mind it until, like, I think about it in response to, like, other people, you know, that, like, when I'm around them and they're, like, on their phone and their phone's going off and, like, constant. And then I'm kind of like, I don't, like, have a lot of people that I, like, text or call or anything, you know? I think that's the thing that would probably surprise people the most about me that watch, like, my other channels, that they would think that, like, I really have, like, a full active, like, social life. And, like, I really don't, you know? And in all honesty, if it wasn't for Alex planning stuff, I probably wouldn't really do a whole lot of anything, you know? I think that's why I kind of love traveling so much, because it gets me out of my element, you know? But, I'm also not somebody that calls and makes plans with people very often. Unless it's like Tanya calling her to get, you know, like a fountain pop or go out to dinner or to a meeting or something, or my sponsor, or, you know, or Melissa and Jason. I mean, we do dinner a couple nights a week, you know, so that's just kind of like one of us will text the other person and be like, hey, you want to do dinner tonight? Yeah, sure, where, what time? No, can't, because we've got stuff to do, you know, whatever. But like, Alex always has, like, birthday parties to go to, and... But, you know, the other thing is, like, Alex is really, really active with some different, like, organizations, professional organizations, where... And, you know, it's, like, he's... The people that he hangs out with are more, like, you know, 30, 35. When we do stuff with couples, it's, like, it's interesting, because it's more people that are, like, my age. And, well, I guess in between our ages. And, Jason's a year older than me, though. But, like, most of the people that Alex hangs out with are, like, let's say, you know, I'd say late 20s to 35, 40. And so... And a lot of them are, like, girls that are single, you know? And they don't have boyfriends, and they like to go out to dinner and do wine and all that kind of stuff. So he does a lot of that. Which I don't really enjoy that. So he's always like, do you want to come? I'm like, yeah, like, I don't really want to sit around while everybody's, like, drinking wine. Like, that's so not fun for me. We went somewhere. I can't remember where we went, and I did actually go. And I was real excited because they had like, I mean, it's not the wine. The wine isn't what bothers me. It's just like, there's just not a lot of talking that sometimes goes on. You know what I mean? Or like, so Alex, a lot of the people that he hangs out with and he knows from dancing from back in the day. Because Alex danced professionally in Indianapolis. And so he knows a lot of people from dancing. And I don't know if people know this or not, but Alex is a trained hip-hop dancer. So he used to do a lot of dance stuff here for like professional sports teams and stuff like that. And so he knows like every cheerleader, every pacer, dancer, pacemate. He knows everybody that dances in Indianapolis. And so it's a lot, you know, those are like the people that he hangs out with. And so when you go out with him, it's like, oh yeah, this, and do you remember so-and-so, and do you remember that? It's like a high school reunion, you know? This place looks so cute. Little cupcake shop. Little cupcake shop. I love to people watch. It's crazy that like in little college areas of town, like whatever town you go to, no matter what time of day, what day of the week you go, it's like always busy. Do you notice that? Like I notice that whenever we go like out of town to other places, you know, that like whether we go to where were we that I was like, when we went to Cincinnati for that wedding, I noticed that too. It was like real busy around that college area town that we were in. And I think we were by like Xavier. And I'm by Butler right now. We live real close to Butler. Alex really, really wanted to go to Butler. It's a beautiful campus. My parents had their wedding reception at Holcomb Gardens, which is on Butler's their grounds. And they had like an outside tent. My mom and I used to go there for picnics. I actually put Holcomb Gardens in my book. I just forgot about that until right this moment. There's like a whole scene that's in that book. And I think I put it in there because of that. That's so weird. I totally forgot about that. This little place over here. I used to stop here, this little gas station, on my way to my office. And they have like the best fountain pops. And I used to go in there and get a fountain pop. And they have these huge cups. And I remember it was like real cheap. It was like $1, no matter what size you got. And they have like the best fountain pops in the entire world in there. But they only have like 5 flavors. They had like Sprite, Coke. You know, like when you do that deal. Like when you, it's like the old, when you do that deal. The old school things. You guys remember that? Do you remember when you used to mix your pop when you were a kid and you thought it was so funny and you'd mix like Coke and orange and Sprite and then would just sit there and you'd be like so excited and then your friends would be like, what did you mix? And you'd be like, I put orange in mine. Oh, gross. We put root beer and Sprite together. Ooh. And then you just sit there and your parents would like pay for it and they would be so pissed because like all the ice would melt and you wouldn't drink any of the drink and it would just sit there. Do you remember that? Oh, those were the days, weren't they? I think Happy Meals are such a trap, too. Like, they're so expensive for, like, a toy, basically. Because you get, like, the smallest cheeseburger, a small fry, a small drink, and a toy. But kids always want Happy Meals. I never wanted Happy Meals. I always wanted a Big Mac. But that's because, you know, look at me. But anyway, I was not a heavy kid, though. That's what's so funny is I was really, like, thin when I was growing up. But, then my metabolism hit, and all those Big Macs did too. But I never wanted a Happy Meal. I didn't love Happy Meals when I was growing up. I didn't really care about the toys, and we never saw the movies that the toys came with anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't go see all those Disney movies and all that kind of, my mom, we didn't do that. We were watching dramas. You know what I mean? My mom, we weren't going to see the Disney, that's why I don't know any of the Disney movies. We weren't going to see them. Instead, we were watching, like, Rear Window and stuff like that when I was a kid, you know. I was watching all the Alfred Hitchcock movies with my mom. But my friends always wanted to have Happy Meals. I remember that. And, oh, but I will tell you this. I don't know. I keep on remembering things tonight that I forgot. I would go through McDonald's, and my dad would get so pissed because I would want a plain cheeseburger. So a cheeseburger with like no lettuce, no ketchup, or whatever it comes with, you know? And we would have to wait forever. My dad would be like, Jesus, takes so long because you have to have a plain cheeseburger. Doesn't taste any different. Why don't you just get all the regulars? Why don't you just get everything on it? And I would smack my gum real loud too. He hated that. That was me growing up. Feathered hair. Smacking my gum. I thought I was the answer. You could not tell me I was not a movie star. That was part of the problem, I think. That's still part of the problem. That I wasn't, I thought I was. With my cotton candy Dr. Pepper lip gloss with the metal ball on the top of it, like somebody just sent me, like this one in here that I have. My feather. My dad was such a good dad. He did not care about any of that stuff. He let me be exactly who I wanted to be. Do you remember that though? Look, here's my lip gloss right here. This is exactly what I had. It looked just like this, but it was like blue for cotton candy, and like then I had the Dr. Pepper one that said Dr. Pepper on the side, but it looked just like this. Okay. I remember going places, and my hair would like fall perfectly into place the way that I wanted to. And so I can remember I would like before we would go somewhere, I would like feather it back with my hair, with my hands, and like that's how it had to go. And so my dad would sit there and wait for me while I was like doing it in the mirror. I was deep in thought and it just stopped. I started to beep and I was like, oh, I didn't even know I was at the end. Can you believe we're more than half? Well, I guess like for adults, we're like halfway through summer right now, just the halfway mark. Just fine by me. But you know, for a lot of us, summer really goes. Tanya and I always talk about this, you know, that now like that our son's gone and stuff like that. Summer goes like straight through September for us. Summer isn't really not summer anymore until it cools down. And like our pool in our neighborhood, like they don't shut it down until it's cold. Like they leave it open. They don't close it like on Labor Day weekend. They leave it open, which I think is nice, you know. Ba, 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 ba. Now that used to be a Marsh grocery store too, and they turned it into an Aldi. People love Aldi. What is that about? I don't understand why people love it so much. Is it really that big of a deal? Do you really save that much money? People are always like, oh my God, you save so much money at Aldi. I don't, like, we don't go grocery shopping like that. You know, we don't go to the grocery shop. Like when friends of mine are like, we spent $300 at the grocery store. Oh, all my friends this summer. Oh my God, I'm ready for the kids to go back to school. They're eating us out of house and home. They say, every one of my friends says that to me. And I'm like, oh really? And they're like, yes, chips, cookies, fruit box, juice boxes. And I'm like, well, just don't buy that stuff for them. You know what I mean? They're like, well, what should we have? And like, my mother didn't have any of that crap sitting around the house when I was growing up. I mean, she had things, some things, but we didn't just have tons of it just sitting around the house. And I'm telling you something else. My mother, she had no tolerance for me just sitting inside during the summer. And maybe it was a different world back then, you know, because we didn't have tablets and this many video games and all that kind of. My mother, she was, both of my parents were like, you need to be outside. You know, you play outside. we had a woods and a cul-de-sac and all. My mother used to say to me, why do you think we moved here? We moved here so you can go out, be outside with all of your friends. And that's what we did. We were outside. You couldn't keep us from being outside when we were kids growing up. I feel like that's kind of different today. Like, I don't see a lot of that, you know? Like, our nephews, like, they play sports and stuff like that, but they are on their tablets so much. Like, oh my God. Like, Alex has done this thing now. So, he buys Carlitos. Sebastian doesn't really know. I mean, he's still too young. But, so he buys Carlitos little presents, right? And, like, the last thing he bought him was Spider-Man cologne, and Carlitos really wanted it. And so Alex was like, okay, but here's the deal. You can be on your tablet for like a little bit at dinner. And he was like, but then you have to talk to the rest of us because we're having family time. Okay, so here's the thing. A family dinner with Alex's family can go literally 3 or 4 hours. I mean, I'm not even lying to you, okay? I'm like pulling my hair out by the end of it, and I love them, and I really, really do, but it's a long dinner. I mean, it is long. You sit there for an hour before anybody orders, and it's just long, you know? And if you're a kid sitting there, my God, and they are really, Carlitos and Sebastian, for not having any other friends with them at dinner or anything like that, they're really, really well behaved. And Sebastian just sleeps a lot sometimes, like, because, you know, like, he's kind of getting to the age now, well, he won't be able to do that anymore, but they bring him into like this, how long ago was that he was in the stroller, because he's 3 now. Yeah, but he was in the stroller and he slept. So that was maybe, was that Mother's Day? I think that was Mother's Day that we went to the Coronado taco place. That place was so good. But so Carlitos is so cute, and he'll be like, so when we were doing and it's a good lesson too, because like Alex's mom, she gets so mad when people are on their phones and stuff at the dinner table, and then Alex, it's so funny now because it's become like this kind of family joke, because she's like, Alex, phones down. She always says, my mother would have hated it. My mother, she just would not have liked the cell phone thing, the cell phone generation. She didn't like it going in the direction when she was alive, and she definitely wouldn't like it now. And so, but Alex is like, his mom is on her phone as much as Alex is on his. And so he calls her out. So anyway, we were there. Where were we to dinner? Where were we eating dinner? I can't remember. And it was the Spider-Man cologne incident. And Alex said to Carlitos, if you behave during dinner and you interact with us and you talk with us, then you can have the cologne at the end of dinner. And it was so funny because Carlitos was so well behaved, and so they like let him be on his, like, he had to talk to us at the beginning, and like he had to order his food on his own, and his mom helped him, which was really sweet. And I think it's, you know, teaching them well. And then after he was done eating, he was allowed to be on his tablet. And so at the beginning, we were sitting there, like Alex was on his phone texting, and Carlitos said, Tio, Alex, since you're allowed to be on your phone, am I allowed to be on my tablet? I was like, now that Alex got called out by a 6-year-old, Alex quickly put his phone down. But anyway, he gave him at the end of dinner, he gave him the Spider-Man cologne. He was so excited. And Alex was like, I'm so proud of you, Carlitos. And everybody was like, Carlitos, you did a really great job at dinner. And so it was really cool. Do you guys do you have issues with like being on the phone at dinner time and stuff? Yeah, my mom would hate it if she was around today. I'm no better than anybody else about it. I mean, in all honesty. Like, I think the thing is like when you're sitting there at dinner and there's like a lull in the conversation, you go to like your phone. What was I noticing today? Was it today? I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was in the movie. No, it wasn't in the movie. But I do think it's so rude when people get on their phones during the movie. But then, like, I got on the phone and, like, did, like, a little Instagram story. But the guy next to me was, like, talking really loud. And he was, like, texting on his phone. I mean, he was on it for, like, I mean, I was literally like this. Like, took it, like recorded it down like that, whatever. That's hypocritical. I shouldn't be on my phone during the movie. Anyway, but where were we? And I was thinking to myself, maybe it was last night. Somewhere where we were. I just think often, like when you're out to dinner and there's like a lull in the conversation, people like reach for their phones, you know? Alex and I on date nights a lot, we don't take our phones inside with us. I think it's probably good, you know, that way we're not, you know, tempted to get on there and, I don't know, stop having conversations with each other, you know. I think relationships are work, and when you're on dates and stuff like that, you should be having conversations. Although we never have a problem, even like when we're on our phones, we don't really have a problem having conversations. Alex and I are just talkers anyway, so we're always talking. You know, there's like a billboard for iced tea. I sometimes am like craving iced tea, but then at other times I'm like, I'm not a tea drinker at all. And I have so many friends of mine that are like huge tea drinkers. Are you guys iced tea drinkers? I think you have to like be an iced tea drinker or not. I have so many friends of mine that like are avid tea drinkers. Like whenever we go out to dinner, they always get tea. Tanya always gets Diet Coke or water. Melissa always never Diet Coke. Melissa always gets Coke. And Alex gets water everywhere we go. He drinks more water than anybody that I know. My husband drinks so much water, which is great, you know, I mean, it's good for you, right? It is like dead out on these roads tonight. Kentucky Kingdom, Hurricane Bay. I haven't been to an amusement park, and I can't even tell you how long. God, when was the last time I was at an amusement park? You guys will be like, it was 2 months ago, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot. That happens to me all the time. Flavor ice, that's what those things are called that my mom used to get for us in the summers. Those cheap, like, long, like, sticks that she would call them ice cream. Do you want ice cream? It's so not ice cream, Mom. My mom was so cheap. Tang, do you want juice? And it was Tang. Do you guys remember Tang? Do they still make Tang? I was thinking about that tonight, like getting the books ready for Booktubeathon. I was thinking about, like, in the summer when I was a kid, I would always have like a stack of books from the library, or books that, you know, like I just had at home, like next to my bed, and then I would just like go through them every night. I can remember I would read so much in the summer when I was a kid, and this light never turns, and it's probably faster for me to go through. Go on the interstate anyway up here. But I would read so much when I was a kid. I would lay in bed every night for like an hour and read. Look, I go this way and I get the red light. Do you guys remember playing red light? Was it called red light, green light when you were kids? We used to play so many games in the pool in the summer. So many games. Alex and I were talking about that the other day. Oh my God, I put this picture up of the new 47 Meters Down movie. I put it on my Instagram because there was like a huge shark, and so I put my face inside the shark and I took a picture of it and put it on my Instagram. And somebody was so funny, and they put, I guess no night swims in your vlog tonight. So if whoever you are that watches my vlog that put that on there, I thought that was really funny. I actually did laugh out loud. I lolled. I really did though, I lolled. Okay, listen, I am gonna get off here now so I can listen to my audiobook. And I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday, an amazing start to your week, unless you have other plans. But don't have other plans. Have an amazing day. Make the most of it. Life is not a dress rehearsal. Enjoy your day. Do something new today that you've never done before. Read a book. Or if you've read a book before, read another book. Or another. Anyway, and if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure to look at yourself in the mirror every single day and say it to yourself in the mirror until you believe it. I love you. And pass it on to somebody else, because it's important that we share the love, and there are a lot of people out there that don't hear it and don't hear validation. And so it's a little free gift that we can give the world every day and do it to somebody. And funny little side note on that. For years and years and years, Tanya and I never said I love you to each other, which is, you know, like, we've been so close forever. And I don't know, it was like one day, just like out of the blue, like I noticed it. And I said, you know that we never say to each other like love ya or like I love you or whatever. And she's like, I know, we never do. And then from that day on, we started saying it. And now we always say it to each other, like when we, like, you know, sign off of the phone call or whatever. So I think it's important to let each other know that, you know. Anyway, I love you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.